Welcome to POW Talk with Bishop Womack-El, better known as POW, your professor of wellness. A world-class, naturopathic holistic scientist and herbalist who's been improving people's lives for over 40 years through God's divine word. POW will share life-changing principles for your health and wealth, covering a cornucopia of subjects on holistic living that will refresh, encourage, and guide you towards a higher zone of living. It's time for you to be, do, and have all that the Creator originally intended for you. So let's get up, over the top with your most trusted name in holistic living. Life coach, speaker, and author, the prophet of wellness, Bishop Womack-El.
Have you ever thought of the healthiest thing you could do? Would it actually be to take another discovered superfood? Would it actually be to do an extra 1,000 jumping jacks? Would it actually be taking a new supplement? Or maybe a new discovered herb from Africa? Have you ever thought about the healthiest thing that you could do right now today? Would it be to actually go to a gym and join and pay in, 1 year in advance so that you have a gym that you're dedicated to? Or hire a personal trainer? Or maybe hire a health coach? Or maybe take a cooking class and learn how to actually cook more healthier. The healthiest thing that you could ever do. Well, you can actually sign up for all these things, hire yourself a coach, a personal trainer, go to the gym, give them your credit card, or pay in advance with cash. You could do all these things. You could read a book on cooking and actually learn some new methods. You could even discover eating with the seasons. But if you don't put this into a daily practical application of practices, you're going to find all of that with your money and your time is nothing more than an absolute waste. Because the most healthiest thing that you could really do for yourself is to embrace the power of self-discipline in whatever it is that you choose to do, to be consistent and to be diligent and to make a constant, steady effort to achieve using small, simple, daily disciplines. Using small, daily disciplines is the most healthiest thing you could ever do to your psyche, to your psychology, to your emotions, to your feelings, to your body, to your spirit, to your family, to your community. That would be the most healthiest thing you could do, because you would be leading into the future, not by talk, but by a walk, by example. Self-discipline. What are your daily disciplines? And I'm telling you, self-discipline is so essential to growth, to development, to personal development. Establish small acts of discipline, practice them daily, and build on them as your sense of self-discipline gets stronger, because the secret of your future is hidden in your daily routine, your practices. I love the book of Proverbs because it's just power-packed and full of so much wisdom. And in the Bible, this book called Proverbs 6, verse 6, it says this: "Go to the ant, you sluggard. Consider her ways and be wise." Go to the ant, you sluggard. Consider her ways and be wise. It has no commander. It has no bishop. It has no overseer or ruler. It has no manager. It has no foreman. It has no supervisor. Yet, the ant stores its provisions in summer and gather its food at harvest. I love that scripture. I did a message years ago. I need to do it again. And it was just simply titled, Go to the Ant. Because the ant has learned how to have, not occasionally, not once a year, not every 6 months, the ant has learned how to embrace daily disciplines. And the ant, through the daily disciplines, has self-discipline. And this is why the ant doesn't have a commander, doesn't have a supervisor, doesn't have an overseer, doesn't have a ruler, doesn't have a manager, because the ant has learned through its practices, daily disciplines, self-discipline. You know, summertime and the grasshopper spends his days hopping about, singing, just lazying away the hot days. And one day, the grasshopper saw an ant toiling hard to drag a piece of grain to her nest. And the grasshopper said to the ant, "Why do you work so hard?" Asked the grasshopper. "Come and sing and dance with me. Hang around and slouch with me. Let's just lay here in the sun, get a tan. We could do as we please. It's too hot to work anyway. It's too hot to work so hard. Let's just drink some punch and some lemonade and just bathe in this sun." And the ant replied and said, "Grasshopper, I'm storing up food for the winter. You do know winter is coming. And you should actually be doing the same, grasshopper. Summer won't last forever." Ah, phooey. Blah, blah, blah. Ha, phooey. That's what the grasshopper replied and said. "Who cares about the winter? It ain't here now. We got plenty of food, plenty of sunshine, lemonade and punch." So the grasshopper went on dancing, went on singing, doing as he pleased. But winter did come. Freezing cold winter came. Freezing cold and dying from starvation. The grasshopper saw the ant and her family distributing the food that they had collected all during the summer, but it was too late for the grasshopper. The grasshopper realized it's best to prepare for the days of necessity. Now, I have to say, I was a grasshopper in my younger days, but I had somebody to give me a satori and wake me up. And his name was Donald Womack, my dad, as well as Orlando K. Perry, who was also my boss, my supervisor. And also, I got some inspiration too from Charlie Wiggum, who was in charge of the Wiggum Funeral Home. Miss Culp, who founded the Shades of Black at Camden School in Newark, and my radiology teacher from Germany, a real inspiration, and have to say I was a grasshopper in those younger days until they began to wake me up and let me know winter is coming. Much of my potential was dissipated because I easily gave up when anything got too hard. As a child, I had a mixed mindset because I was hanging around with a lot of relatives and cousins every day. And I wanted to do what they were doing, which was absolutely nothing. I wanted to do what they were doing. Just going around chasing skirts and getting telephone numbers from girls, setting up when we'll have our next sexual escapade. In reality, I was absolutely doing nothing for the future. So I had a fixed mindset, although that term hadn't been invented yet, of really being someone of productivity and somebody who should embrace purpose. I believed I was smart and that results should come easily to me. I believe because my father was someone who basically was a pursuer, that it would just automatically come on me. And I believe because he was smart and he graduated from theology school as the valedictorian, I just thought that, that would automatically be because I got the genes of my dad. So I didn't push hard in school. I didn't push hard as far as purpose and even career at that time, being very young. So I really believed that I could do this and it'll just pass on down through the genes, that I was smart and that results should just come to me easily. If something got too hard, I really gave up. I preferred to just say, now that I was a late bloomer, which is true in a sense, but I bloomed only after I recognized that tendency in myself to quit when the going got tough, that I eventually learned to stick with the thing as my mentors and my coaches and my teachers. I never forget my German teacher in radiology, was a tremendous teacher, and also my main teacher, Supino Moss, in radiology, began to show me the ropes and how you should get involved in business and get something for wholesale and sell it for retail, that I began to start blooming. And I bloomed only after I recognized that tendency in myself to quit when the going got tough, that I needed to stay in there. And I needed to go and fight the storms and overcome until I mastered it. So slowly, I learned the value of self-discipline. I remember my teacher was letting me know, because I hated physics. But you needed to know physics or you couldn't do radiology. The machines were based on physics. The calculations was based on physics. Understanding basically everything dealing with chemo and radiation was physics. You just couldn't dial in the machine and start working on a patient unless you had some understanding and concept of physics. And I hated physics. I almost just about hated my physics teacher. And my teacher, who was the teacher of all the teachers in radiology, Supino Moss, said, sometimes you got to do what you hate. And you got to do it long enough until you start liking it. And then like it long enough until you start loving it. I never forget that. We were sitting down in the cafeteria in Overlook Hospital. I treated her to lunch, not knowing me treating her to lunch, she was going to treat me to a lesson that I would take throughout my entire life to this day. You got to stick with something long enough that you hate till you like it, especially when you know it's for your good, and like it long enough until you love it. Wow. Thank you. Thank you, Sue. I still live by that to this day. I got to look you up and tell you thank you in person. So I could point to many examples and things that I've learned over the years where I began to use self-discipline, going back to school to complete a degree and learning to play the keyboard and get involved in music and start writing. I remember my first book that I wrote, oh my God, that led to another book. And that second book, Black Man Caught in the God, just began to be a book known nationwide. And it was really tough, really putting that together. But it opened up a door to actually go to Dallas Theological Seminary, and go to Texas. Oh my God. And then just completed another degree, and then got my doctorates. Eventually, I evolved from grasshopper to ant. Today, I actively seek ways to practice self-discipline and to continuously improve my mind, improve my body, improve my spirit through a whole avenue of coaches as well as even mentors. And I don't attempt to take gigantic leaps. I take many small steps day after day, just being consistent. And that takes self-discipline. And that gets you to a point of where you don't want to be in mediocrity. So I take small steps day after day, day after day, day after day, day after day, until it's week after week, week after week, week after week, and then year after year, like the ant. I have learned the benefit of living with intention and in intention. I've learned the benefit of working today with an eye to what this will mean tomorrow, with an eye to see what this will mean to my future self. I'm going to tell you right now, be an early adopter. Early adopters. Be an early adopter. I've known and worked with people who seem to understand early the benefits of self-discipline and working steadily towards a goal, then typically have advanced in their lives and their careers and their vocations and their ministries at an early age. And I presume, they were born ants and never had a grasshopper phase like I did, but perhaps you are one of those people that have been like me, that you have this sense of what you should be doing, but you still have that grasshopper mentality. And I would say to you, get somebody that'll hold your feet to the fire and engage with them. Don't even wait for them to call you. You call them and say, listen, I need to be an ant. I've been a grasshopper and winter is coming. So I believe many of you have similar experiences to mine. When things get hard, you want to stop. You want to quit. And you've been starting life, not like some of the people I know who might just start off as an ant. I didn't start off as an ant. I believe many of you have similar experiences to mine, starting life as a grasshopper and eventually learning the necessity of discipline. But I'll tell you to stay with it, keep with it, find yourself a mentor, a coach, by any means necessary. Do what you got to do. You may be in the grasshopper phase now, but I guarantee you, if so, no shame, no blame. In either case, you can benefit from the practice of self-discipline, and you will not continue nor die as a grasshopper. Now, there are two paths in life. You are on one of them now. One path leads upward to success, however you define it, happiness, well-being, flourishing, money, more money, family. One path leads downward to stagnation, being lackadaisical, poor health, even despair, emotional imbalances, chemical imbalance. However, whether the path is going up or down, the grade is so slight it isn't evident which direction you're headed. It is only after many days of taking many small steps on the path that you suddenly realize you made a turn upwards or a turn downwards. And you need to be more intentional. What determines if you're moving on the upward path? Listen to my question again. You might want to jot it down. What determines if you are moving on the upward path? Answer: a few simple disciplines repeated every day. That's it. A few simple disciplines repeated every day. And if you don't even do a few, if you just did one every day, just one, you will have won. What determines if you're moving on the downward path? Here's my question. What determines if you're moving on the downward path? Answer: a few simple errors in judgment repeated every day. Did you get that? You choose the path. You choose it through your actions. You choose it by developing self-discipline or not. See, the good news is you can move to the upward path today. If you're living the grasshopper life, you can begin your evolution to become like the ant. Thy slugger, consider her ways and be wise. See, here's some ideas to get you started. Start small. See, the paths are walked one step at a time. Don't attempt to move from one to the other by taking giant leaps. Simply change the steps that you are taking. Don't attempt to run a mile if you haven't even run anywhere since you were a kid, a child. Don't attempt to save a half of your income if you've been spending everything that you make and then some. Don't attempt to cut your 2,500 calories per day to a diet down to 1,500 calories if you never practiced it ever and showed any consistency for 3 days. Pick one area of your life right now, right here and right now. Just pick one area of your life and make one small improvement. Then do that one thing every day. Dedicate to maximize it every day. Don't let nothing distract you, nothing take your attention, nothing deviate, nothing to divert you. Do this one. The Apostle Paul, he was a genius. He said, this one thing I do, forgetting all those things which are behind, I'm reaching forth for the thing which is before. Just one thing, my friend. One thing. Remember, the results along the upward path come by small improvements. Over time, the secret of your future is hidden in your daily routine. Aggregating small improvements, one foot in front of the other. Don't jump steps, one step at a time. Are you ready for the 100% commitment? Once you selected your small daily discipline, I'm telling you, this is the most healthiest thing you could do. Because whatever you choose to do, you're going to actually be consistent and stop torturing yourself from inconsistencies. And if you fall off track, you're going to grab yourself by your own bootstraps and grab yourself by a collar, pay yourself $1 and say, you know what? I'm not deviating. I'm not diverting. I'm not going to be divided. Once you have selected your small daily discipline, commit to the practice and commit to practicing it. You do it every day. Success people. You know what they do? They adhere to the no exceptions rule when it comes to their daily disciplines. Once you make 100% commitment to something, there are no exceptions. It's a done deal. Can you do that for yourself? I find it easy to commit to doing most things every day rather than, say, 5 days a week. It's too easy to say, today's my off day. Oh, yeah. It's too, and oh my God, I'm seeing this. Now, I upped my exercise from 3 days to 5 days, and now I'm realizing, you know what? I need to do something. I'm talking about me. It's too easy to say today's my off day, even when it comes to health. Oh, today I'm going to have a cheat day. And cheat day turns to a second cheat day and a third cheat day. Now you got a cheat week and then you got a cheat month. And now you're cheating all year long. It's too easy. Yes, it is. And I'm POW. And I know better. It's too easy. Too easy to say today's my off day and then skip out. Of course, some things you may only schedule once a week or a few times a week. But I believe right here, right now, you need to pick a specific day or days that make 100% commitment to those days. But a small, simple, daily discipline means daily. Bishop, where are you getting this? From Jesus? Bishop, Jesus never said no such thing. Oh, yes, he did. He even prayed it. Give us this day our daily bread. Y'all want God to give you breath every day. You want God to allow you to wake up every day. You want to be able to be functioning every day. You want to open up your eyes and see every day. You want to taste food every day. Oh, you definitely want to do that. I ain't got to tell you about that one. And you want to slumber every day. You want to sleep every day. You want to wiggle your toes every day. Some want to have sex every day. Ah! Daily. Make sure most of yours are being done daily. Small, simple, daily disciplines. Make sure most of them are being done daily. Whatever it is that you need, daily. See, people say you can't be a little bit pregnant. Either you are or you aren't. Same with commitment. You are or you aren't. 99, Mother Nash used to say, 99 and a half won't do. Put your time in daily. 99% commitment is not possible. We are either 100% or we're not committed at all. I'm either a male or a female. I can't be 99% male and 1% I'm a female. Now, I know some people think they are. You know, we're either 100% or not committed at all. And you've probably heard certain advice. I can't think of that comedian. I'm not sure. It might be what's his first name? Jerry. I used to watch some of his stuff. Kind of a different type of comedian. If some of y'all know what I'm talking about. But you might have heard his advice that he gave to a young comedian who was just starting out in a career. I think it was him. He told, if I'm not mistaken, if it was him, told her, get a big calendar and hang it on the wall. And every day, write a joke. I thought that was good advice for a young comedian. Every day, Look at your big calendar and every day write a joke. And after you write the joke, he said, make a big red X for that day on the calendar. And don't break the chain. And after a year of doing that, you'll be ready to go before people and do your jokes. Wow. See, seeing that string of red X's motivates you to keep going. You need to find some way to keep track of your progress as you practice your small, simple daily disciplines. Keep a list or keep a chart or mark X's on your calendar. Then don't break the chain. Many of you are guilty. You start a particular health regimen, you break the chain. You start a diet, break the chain. You start an exercise routine, you break the chain. You start committing to better personal development, you break the chain. You break the chain. You break the chain. Because you don't understand what 100% commitment is really about. Another key to sustaining disciplines is definitely you need a coach or you need a mentor. And then, even with them, sustaining disciplines is to start small, make incremental improvements over time. And you've selected a tiny step to take each day, but that's your floor, not your ceiling. Are you getting this? Got to be desperate enough. In desperation, after failing repeatedly, you're going to begin that program and you're going to decide to push through and you're going to push up each day. And most of the time, you're going to feel like it. And then there are going to be sometimes it's going to come in, you ain't going to feel like it. You're going to want to miss, you're going to want to skip, but never miss. Don't miss. Don't miss. Don't miss. Make your discipline so small, it's hard not to do. Make your discipline so small, it's hard not to miss. You won't break the chain. Be sure that you can do it every day. Then add to it as you go. And you're more motivated. You're more stimulated. You're more activated. You're more captivated. But always be sure that you do your minimum. A lot of you start off with too much that you're attempting to do. This one thing. And celebrate. Celebrate. That's like me. Another motivating exercise is to celebrate when you have completed your discipline for the day. I love rewarding myself with a good meal at the end of the day and maybe just watching a movie with that meal. That's me. You don't have to choose that. Or having my family or my wife. I celebrate. I deserve this right here. I deserve this bison. I deserve this salad. I deserve this dessert because I completed the discipline. A simple method. It's a simple method. Tiny habits pump you up for great accomplishments. And that's just like me. Or do a happy dance. Pat yourself on the back. Find some quick, easy way to celebrate you. You're building your self-discipline one step at a time, and that's like you. All right, I'm going to give you some suggested disciplines because this is the most healthiest thing you can do for yourself. It's the most healthiest thing because it's good for you mentally, emotionally, psychologically, soulishly. This is the most best thing you can do. Embrace self-discipline. So here are some examples of small, simple, daily disciplines. And this is by no means an exhaustive list, just a couple of samples to get your own ideas flowing. How about any of these to begin a practice of self-discipline, of daily disciplines, of practices? Come on, pal, tell me. I'm waiting for you to get your pen in your hand and get your paper. Drink a glass of water when you get up. Get up as soon as the alarm goes off. Open up your Bible and start memorizing the scripture that you're going to apply for your day to make you a winner. Think of 3 things that you're grateful for. Or think of 10 things that you're grateful for. How about walk 5+ minutes? How about walk 20 minutes before you eat? How about walk 20 minutes after you eat? What about meditate and pray for 7 minutes? How about every day just write 50 words? How about do 1 push-up? How about do 1 sit-up? How about floss 1 tooth? What about write in a journal for 5 minutes? What about walk at least 5,000 steps per day? How about track what you eat? How about track your spending? What about practice a musical instrument for 5 minutes? How about read for 5 minutes plus? How about read 1 page? How about read just 1 page in the Bible every day? What about just talking to God just for 2 minutes? How about talk to your spouse for 2 minutes? How about talk to your children for 3? What about put things back in their home when you finish using them, or putting things in their proper place? These are just some things of suggested POW disciplines that you can do. And there's so many others, and you can add to the list yourself. But this would be one of the most healthiest things you could do. Daily action plus time equals amazing. I'm going to say that again. This is POW's formula for amazing. Daily action plus time equals amazing. To be truthful, practicing your small practices, simple daily discipline today is not going to make much difference. Not at all. But if you do it, you'll feel okay. If you don't do it, you'll still feel okay today. But how do you suppose you will feel in a year if you practice your disciplines most days? How do you think that you're going to feel in 5 years? Success, however you define it. It's not difficult. It's not complicated. It's not a secret. Success comes from doing a simple thing and doing a few simple things every day over time. And failure comes from not doing those simple things every day over time. Are you getting this? Turn simple disciplines into massive success. Turn simple disciplines into massive happiness. Oh boy. Consistently repeating daily actions plus time gives you unconquerable results, a phenomenal life, an amazing adventure. You know, time is the force that magnifies insignificant things into something unstoppable. I want you to email me. I want you to email me with the answer of the one thing that you're going to pick. Just one. I want you to email me, bishop@bishopwomack.com, and I want you to dedicate and commit. Pick one small, simple daily discipline and begin it today, and email me and said, Bishop POW, this is the one thing I'm going to dedicate myself to. I got a big dream list, but I'm not going to be focusing on that and get distracted and upset and mad and angry. I'm going to pick this one thing from now to the end of the year. I promise you, sir. Sir POW, I promise you. I'm going to pick one small, simple daily discipline and begin it today. And then do it again tomorrow. And then after you email me today of what you pick, you're going to email me tomorrow that you did it. But it's going to be the truth. And then you're going to email me again and let me know that you did it. For at least 7 days, then you'll have to email me no more that I did it. Tell me the time that you did it too. I want you to pick one small, simple, daily discipline. Begin it today. Do it again tomorrow. Do it again tomorrow. Again tomorrow until you get to 7 days. And the next day and the next. Add others later when you master this. When you maximize this, add others as you progress and make this a lifelong habit. You have started on the upward path to success, good health, well-being, flourishing, and that is embracing, I tell you, a life that's authentic so that you can be what God wants you to be, do what he wants you to do, have what he wants you to have. And I guarantee you, when you embrace knowing the secret of your future is hidden in your daily routine, this is going to happen to you. I'm telling you, you're going to go up, 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 and over the top. Thank you for listening. Listen again and again and again, and our path shall meet in success, health, wealth, and prosperity. Remember, the healthiest thing you could do for yourself, self-discipline. Peace.
Thank you for listening to POW Talk. If you enjoyed this podcast and would like to learn more about the benefits of holistic health to reach a higher zone of living, go to our website, www.BsW&x.com, and be sure to like and subscribe so you can stay up to date on new episodes. Until next time, remember, there's only one place to go. Up, 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 and over the top.